What if I told you there is a few ways you can increase a chance of getting your offer accepted in a competitive market? In this video I'm gonna talk about those small things that you can do to get your offer accepted even when there is 20 other offers on the table. And these are the tips and tricks that people like me, real estate professionals, are using daily to get our buyers into their dream homes. And let's start with the most basic one, which is proof of funds / pre-approval letter. This is a common sense, but you would be surprised by how many people are just looking for homes without getting pre-approved before that. And let me put it this way, there is no downside in talking to a lender. They will not only help you understand how much your payment will be a month, but also if there is some debt that you need to pay off to get pre-approved faster or to get your credit score higher. Those are all the tools that lenders are using to help you buy the home. And one more reason why having a pre-approval letter is really important is, at the time of this recording, it's really competitive market. So if the listing hits market on Wednesday, you go see it Thursday, and Friday they have like 10 offers. So they will be requesting to see your pre-approval even if you put 20, 30, 40, 50,000 over asking. If you're a cash buyer as well, they will want to see your proof of funds. So all of these tips that I'm gonna be telling you are actually incentives for the seller to go with your offer. They gotta know that this deal is actually going to close. The worst thing for the seller is having to put the house back on the market after it was under contract, and the more time the house spends on the market, the less chance you have of getting a really good offer. So don't wait. Even if you're a first-time home buyer, talk to a few lenders to see where do you stand financially wise. The next thing is the closing date. So like I said, your whole offer is spinning around what's important to the seller. So if you do have a real estate agent, they're going to call the listing agent to see what's important to the seller. Have they bought something already? Do they have to move? When do they have to move out? Or they're waiting for their house to be built. Not everyone can just move out in 30 days. Maybe they need a couple of months of rent back. Who knows? The best way to find out is for your agent to call the listing agent and to ask. Maybe they already moved out and they just want to close as soon as possible to get that money fast. Also, one important thing, going back to pre-approval, when you're getting that pre-approval, ask your lender how fast can you close. Some lenders can close in 2 weeks, some lenders need 30 to 40 days to close. So just ask them, and that way you will be prepared for any closing date. Next thing is earnest money deposit. So earnest money deposit is the money that you're giving to the seller to prove that you're willing to buy this house. This way you're showing that you have some skin in the game and that you're really motivated to buy the house. So this is the money that's gonna be credited to you at the closing table, of course. This is the big thing for the seller as well, because they want to make sure they're going to get something in case you just change your mind and walk away tomorrow from the deal. So let me give you an example. You're buying a $300,000 home, okay? And let's say you're just putting $500 earnest money deposit. Any normal seller is going to ask, why this guy is just putting $500? Is he actually going to buy this? So there must be a reason behind that. One thing I'm advising my buyers to do is to put the earnest money deposit as high as they can to show to the seller how serious they are. Guys, this is not a joke. Like 35 minutes ago, before I started filming this YouTube video, I got a call from a listing agent and our offer got accepted. There were maybe 20-25 offers in total, and we were not the highest offer, but we had a closing date that seller liked, and we had the highest earnest money deposit. Maybe this is different from state to state. You should talk to your real estate agent to understand this better. Let's move into the next thing, which is inspection. This is one of the biggest things that the sellers are gonna be looking at as well. And obviously we cannot advise anyone to waive inspection, and I don't think that's a smart idea. What you can do, this is what me and my buyers are doing, and I saw other people doing that. When competition is really strong, when you have multiple offers, there is a verbiage that we are using for the inspection where you still perform the inspection, but it's only for informational purposes or void purposes, which basically means you're only concerned about big structural items, like a roof, foundation, electrical, and similar things like that. So putting the verbiage that you're only concerned about big ticket items can get your offer accepted, and you can still have your inspection. Sometimes sellers are afraid of the inspection because maybe they had a bad experience, and I don't blame them, because last week I had a deal falling apart because people walked into a house, they liked the house, they made an offer, and on the inspection they didn't realize that the windows are really old. When they were touring the house, they never checked the windows. And please do not be like these buyers. When you're touring these houses, look at the windows, look for signs of any leaks, look at the ceiling, look at the roof, how does it look. You don't have to be a professional, of course. This is a big purchase and you should look at everything. Just because you have a real estate agent and you have a home inspector doesn't mean you shouldn't educate yourself on all of these things, because one day you're gonna be a homeowner if you're not already. Next thing is the appraisal gap coverage. I have a great example for you, of course, because this is a crazy market. On one of my listings there was like 15 or 16 offers, and they were all above asking. We asked $350 for the house and we got like $350, $360, $390 offers, and all the houses in the area have sold maybe for $280, $290 2 or 3 years ago. So the seller was concerned if this house is even going to appraise at $390. One of the offers had the appraisal gap addendum, which basically means, let's say if the house doesn't appraise to $390, it appraises only to $360, they're going to give that extra $30,000 in cash to cover the difference, if that makes sense. Of course, not everyone is able to do this. Maybe you're just putting 5% down payment, but if this is possible for you, this is a big thing that the seller will be looking at if you are going so much over asking. Let's jump into the next one, and this is the trick that a lot of people are using, and that's offering higher price but asking for closing cost credits. Let me give you an example. Let's say the house is listed at $300,000 and you're offering $310,000, but you're asking $10,000 in closing cost credits. So you can basically use this money for down payment, or you can use this money to buy interest rate or whatever you're using it for, but the net to the seller is same. And this is the thing that I notice: sellers like to see highest purchase price, and then later they see if you're asking for any closing costs or whatever you're asking for. That purchase price can get their attention much faster. So like I said, in a competitive market, you gotta find out what's really important to the seller. These are the things that will increase the chances of your offer getting accepted. But again, there's so many things that you cannot control. For example, maybe somebody is going to offer cash, maybe somebody is going to offer so much over asking, and they will have the appraisal gap, they will waive the inspection, and sometimes it's just not meant to be. If there's 20 offers, 19 are going to get rejected and only one is going to get accepted. I used to stress so much about this when I got started, but one thing I realized: when one door closes, another door opens. Do not give up, you're not alone. This is a very challenging time for everyone to buy a house. We are all in this together, and it's also not easy for the sellers. Yes, they're getting a lot over asking, but unless they're moving out of the country, they will still have to buy something. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video.